What's happening, Sales Ascender? Sean here, and I'm curious if you've ever been in the sales world where you're trying to make sales, you're trying to grow your business, your company, or you're selling for somebody else, and all of a sudden you get into this slump. And then you're like, man, my closing rates have dropped tremendously. I don't know how to handle my mindset when it comes to my low closing rates. So if that's happened ever to you, this video is going to give you a formula to walk you through exactly how to combat that so you never have the problem again. What's up, Sales Ascender? Sean here, back at you with another high ticket tune-up. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and click the notifications and all the good stuff that comes along with it so you get notified with your tips of the day, the high ticket tune-ups. Today we got a great question that came in from Yash, and Yash asked this. He said, Sean, how do I handle a mindset when I'm having low conversion rates? Meaning he'd been in this profession for quite a long time, and he got to a place where he slumped. Everybody slumps. Think about sports for just 1 second. If you're playing baseball and you're a batter, you're gonna hit a slump. Like, it's just something that will come. It comes with everything, and just expect it to be there, like ebb and flow. It's all about how you show and flow everything. Right? So when it comes to the mindset of having low closing rates, when you drop into a slump, there's a couple of things that I like to remember. And so the first thing is Kaizen. There's this philosophy that came out of manufacturing. What it means is micro changes are good. So Kaizen means change is good. And yes, change is good. Change is the only thing in our world that is a constant. And so if we understand the philosophy of everything's changing all the time, if you've ever done any work into like the quantum mechanics of, they talk about the quantum realm and how everything is made up of these things called quantum packets, which is a whole nother conversation in itself. Well, what's inside of the middle of a quantum packet, if you believe the science behind it, is that everything and nothing exists at the same time. It would be like having a conversation with me and you call me out right into front of you and we chat, and then all of a sudden the next thing you don't want to talk with me anymore and I'm gone, poof. Like, that's the theory behind the quantum realm of how things work when we manifest. But there's this philosophy that comes from Japan that talks about how Kaizen is the art of building change into process, making sure that every change that you do is actually something that's good. When I learned this philosophy, I was like, wow, this is a pretty powerful thing. I thought it was cool, and I started digging a little bit deeper. And then at the time, I was actually in a manufacturing business, and I was learning about this formula called the SPDCA Formula, right? So here's the formula, and it means good processes create good results. So if we're dealing with, and again, I'm going to bring this back full circle, so hang with me to the end here. If we're dealing with the poor mindset or a lack of, a confidence or ability or a slip in that mindset of, oh shoot, I hit a slump with sales, like how do I do this? Well, we look at the formula that we should use in our world, right? So good processes create good results. Improvements are based on small changes. They must be measurable, standardized, and repeatable. And then we just empower ourselves or our team. And so if that's the formula, like, what do we have to do? Again, going back to the question here that Yash asked, he said, how do I handle mindset when I'm having low conversion rates? Here is a formula that you can drop right into your business today. Very simple and easy to do. Here's how it works. First step, give yourself 5 minutes. Sean, what's the 5-minute rule? Well, I'm glad that you asked. The 5-minute rule is that place for you to vent, to be frustrated, to be pissed off, to be annoyed. I use this all the time. When something irks me or I get triggered and I realize, I am aware that I got triggered or I'm having low conversion rates, or I just become aware of the thing, what I do is I set a timer and I give myself 5 minutes to just be pissed off, yell, scream, punch the wall, do whatever I got, but I've only got 5 minutes. That's it, right? And this has to be in a place where I'm going to be safe to myself and others around me, of course. So sometimes I'll go and I'll skip rope really, really fast and just like get the aggression out. So take 5 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes. If you recognize, oh man, I'm in a selling slump, like how do I break out of this? That's the first thing to do. Give yourself grace, give yourself a little bit of room to vent, because once you get the anger and the frustration out, now you have the calmness and the emotions are lessened, so we can actually go in and make changes. Second step is this, reviewing your process. So first and foremost, what we want to do is we want to review a process in our, how's what's working, what's not working, right? And so I go through a series of what's right, why is it right, what makes it right, what resource, or what's missing from being right. And then I always focus on the right things, right? And so that was a lot of right, sorry about that, but it's real. So I look at my sales process. Am I doing the right prospecting amount of outreach? Am I doing the right things to get people into the conversations? When I get into the conversations, do I follow my sales process step at a time, step at a time? Where do I believe something is falling down? What step is actually missing from my perfect system that I have? And when you recognize like, oh, there's a little breach in my numbers, and the next move is we make a hypothesis or a prediction. This happened to me fairly recently. I was in the sales, a little bit of a sales funk. I went about 2.5 weeks without closing one of our higher ticket $25,000 sales. And when I realized what was happening and I looked at my numbers, like that 3 weeks of, or 2.5 weeks of not making a sale, like really got on me, you know, because I mean, obviously I'm supposed to be the guy teaching sales. Like if I'm not making sales, there's a big problem. And so I took this formula and I took 5 minutes. I was really upset. I went out and I jumped rope. I came back in, I looked at my process. And what I realized in my sales conversation, we have a 7-step method. The step number 3, I was falling down. I wasn't going deep enough, which is the pain compartment of our sales conversation. I wasn't getting deep enough in this part. So my hypothesis was like, I'm not doing a good job with pain. I need to get deeper into it. My prediction when I do this is I'm going to get out of my slump. And so that was my hypothesis and then my prediction. And so then what happened is I implemented the change. The very next sales call, I made one little tweak. I didn't change anything except for that one little tweak. And so then I could test the results. Did I close? Yes, I did. I closed the next deal that I got on the phone with. And that was the big true piece of how do you deal with being in a sales slump, or when you have like you're dealing with your mindset, when you have low confidence around closing deals. Like this is the move right here. Take 5 minutes and be pissed off. It's okay. Give yourself grace for that. Review the process, make a hypothesis and a prediction of what happened when you make the change, implement the change, and then test the results. And if it works, guess what? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's what I say. Keep running the play, right? And because this will get you out of that sales mentality and it'll give you a process that you can actually follow every single time. And this works for fairly about anything. And that's why I love the Kaizen model so well. It just really works when you have that sales mentality is kind of being in a slump. And so this is a very simple formula to follow. And that's what I say. So today, guess what? You just been tuned up. This formula is magic, especially because it's all about mindset when it comes to sales. When you want to win the game, just understand slumps happen, they occur. When you get to a place where you're having low conversion rates, review your process, make a hypothesis, prediction, implement it, test it. If it works, keep doing it. If not, go back and follow this process again. Make sure and grab that subscribe button, turn on the notifications and all the bells and all the good stuff, and I'll catch you